In this video, we're going to discuss some things that occur early in the claims process. This video covers 5 topics, but we're going to cover them fairly quickly. The first is the initial call to the insurance company. The second is documents that you need to gather to get ready to push your claim forward. The third is going to be communicating with the adjuster with an eye towards the defenses that the adjuster may use to diminish or deny your claim. Finally, we're going to talk about what to do if the adjuster doesn't call you back, and when is it okay to let the adjuster move your car when your car is a total loss. Hi, this is Chris, and you've reached the Texas Car Crash Claims channel, a YouTube channel created by me and my law firm to give you short but informative videos about auto property damage claims in the state of Texas. As always, if you're injured, I encourage you to consult with a personal injury attorney because the things that you say and do with regard to your property damage claim can affect the injury claim. Having said that, let's get on with the video. So when you call in the claim, the first thing that you need to be aware of is that the initial person that you speak with is really just sort of a customer representative of sorts who's taking basic information. They're not the adjuster, and they're not going to start adjusting your claim when you first call it in. You're going to need to know the names of the people who were involved, the date and location of the wreck, how the wreck occurred, and whether anyone was injured. There may be other questions that they ask you, and sometimes the interview can be kind of lengthy. Now, if you are hurt in the wreck, you need to be honest with the insurance company about that and tell them that you are, because if you say that you're not hurt now, it's going to make your injury claim very difficult later on. At the end of the conversation, out of this first call, you should get a claim number. It's important to write down that claim number. That claim number, of course, is the reference number that's going to be used for your claim throughout. It usually takes some time these days in order to have an adjuster assigned to your case and get back in touch with you. Sometimes with some of the major carriers, it takes 2 to 3 days in order to have them respond. There are some documents that you can gather while you're waiting for an insurance adjuster to be assigned to your claim. You should go ahead and attempt to get the police report or the blue form. There's a separate video that we have about getting the police report and how to read the police report. You need to get your title, especially if you think the vehicle is going to be a total loss. If it's repairable, you don't have to do this. But if you suspect your vehicle is going to be a total loss, you need to get the title, you need to get lien holder information and payoff amount. You should also, if you think your vehicle is a total loss, start gathering up any receipts for recent maintenance or any upgrades to the vehicle. Those upgrades could be anything like upgraded running boards or other aftermarket parts that are put on your vehicle. You can use those receipts sometimes to get the actual cash value of your vehicle increased, that valuation increased by the adjuster in the event of a total loss. So when you're communicating with the adjuster, there's some things that you should know. The most important thing that I can emphasize to you is to know the typical defenses to claims in the state of Texas. These defenses are contributory negligence, responsible third parties or other people, unavoidable accidents. This is something like nature, weather, or sudden emergencies, say a medical condition that might crop up. The thing that all of these defenses have in common, and the thing that you need to keep in mind, is that the insurance carrier only covers the other driver for the other driver's negligence. The insurance company doesn't cover you for your negligence. It doesn't cover other people who might have played a role in causing the wreck. It doesn't cover nature. It covers negligence of that driver. I'm going to give you a couple of quick examples here, but this subject of defenses to your claim is a big enough topic. I'm going to spin it out into another video. Suffice it to say that just because you're rear-ended doesn't mean that the person who did the rear-ending in the eyes of the insurance company is going to be at fault. They may blame the people in front if the people in front slammed on their brakes suddenly, and you make statements to the adjuster that indicates that you almost rear-ended the person in front of you, or somebody up there slammed on their brakes for no reason. The insurance carrier is going to blame the people up in front. They're not going to want to take responsibility, even though their driver wasn't paying attention and rear-ended you. Another example is running the red light. This seems crazy, but it happens all the time. The adjuster will take sometimes a position that if you should have seen the other person running the red light, that you should have taken evasive action and missed the other person. I'm going to elaborate on these couple of examples and give some other examples in the other video on defenses. So what to do if the adjuster is not returning your telephone call? This is a very common problem these days. I think it's occurring because of two reasons. Number one, I believe the adjusters are really overworked. And number two, I think that COVID has upset the workflow at a lot of the major carriers. These adjusters are working from home, and I don't think the workflow is smooth because it's very, very hard to get an adjuster or to get somebody to call you back these days. So what to do if you're not getting a return telephone call? I suggest to you that you begin to paper the file with emails. If you can fax or even write a good old-fashioned letter, you need to get documentation in that file that the adjuster is not returning your telephone call. That papers the file. The adjuster doesn't like that type of thing because if there's a review and there's a bunch of documents in files saying that they're not returning telephone calls, they could possibly get a bad review. And I think sometimes that motivates the adjuster to return the telephone call more promptly. The last topic that we're going to discuss on this video is when it's okay to let the adjuster move your vehicle. Now, under these circumstances, typically your vehicle is going to be a total loss. You're probably at a point in the claim where you haven't negotiated a final resolution of how much money they're going to pay for your vehicle, but the adjuster wants to go ahead and take possession of your vehicle and move it from the tow yard where it's located. Generally speaking, it's okay to let them do it. The reason why they want to do this is that the tow yard is charging them by the day to hold your vehicle there. And there are several large auction houses that dispose of salvage vehicles. And those auction houses around the state of Texas will allow the vehicle to sit on their lot for free because they want the opportunity to auction it. So the adjuster is going to want to move your vehicle to one of those no-fee facilities. And like I said, generally speaking, it's okay to let them do it. Giving them possession is not the same as giving them title. And even though your vehicle has been moved, you're still the titled owner of the vehicle until the transaction is complete. Now, if you do want to retain the salvage, that is, keep a vehicle that has been wrecked and deemed to be a total loss, of course, you don't want to give possession of that to the insurance company. You would want to keep that wrecked vehicle. However, before you make that decision, I suggest that you watch our video on retaining the salvage.